LRS Formula is one of the rare driving schools in the world that offers true motor racing aficionados just like our Jessica the chance to discover another world, that of Formula One. But first comes a 1-hour briefing to learn the basics of a Formula 3 car and get the feeling for the environment of an open-wheel racer and find one's bearings on the Magny-Cours circuit. You will pass your driving test this morning. The first order of business is to spend the day with you, and then tonight we'll celebrate with a glass of champagne, and hopefully you'll still be in one piece with both your arms and both your legs are still in working order.
Alors, les explications, comment ça se passe?
Ça va bien se passer.
200 horsepower, 500 kilograms, rain, an unknown circuit. There's a lot to take in before taking the controls of a proper Formula One car. And as the tension mounts, Jessica keeps reminding herself that she's about to do something few have actually done. And now the time has come for her to get kitted up.
Jessica, il vous faudra une tenue plus adaptée et on va y aller.
And now Jess will set off for 6 laps, and the first thing she notices is that the car is not as difficult as she thought. And for sure this is an exercise in how to drive the car, and not a set time, of course. But no matter what, she's having the time of her life, and the idea is to progress and find her marks. At the end of the session, Jess meets up with Mathieu Zangarelli for a quick debriefing.
Oui, c'était vachement bien.
Well, Mathieu asks how it went, and Jessica says, you know, there are no problems, no worries. And he then asks her to tell him about the clutch and the gearbox, and she says it was a lot easier than she thought it would be. And she goes on to say that she was a bit apprehensive when it came, but it all came together naturally, so it all made sense, and there wasn't a speedometer on board, and she just listened to the engine. And so she admits afterwards that that undoubtedly she made a few mistakes. Well, Mathieu tells her that he could hear that she was running too many revs, and it probably would have been better to go up a gear, and the car has a relatively small engine, but plenty of torque, and it's quite light, of course, which means she could easily take up a gear. So all the helpful tips she got from Mathieu, Jess ready to go out for another trial there with a lot more confidence, and it worked. So how was it? Well, Jessica says she definitely thinks she did a better job this time, and Mathieu tells her that she even received some applause from those in the stands. And you can see just how proud she actually is. Well, Mathieu tells Jess how much faster she ran, and she was keeping pace with the rest of the group, and his next bit of advice was to keep doing more of the same, because afterwards she'll have to adapt herself to the environment of a Formula One car. It's time to try the Formula One car. But before, some 3 kilos of foam would have to be put in the cockpit in order for Jessica to reach the pedals. And she's stunned as to how stiff the clutch actually is. So Mathieu joking with Jessica here, but she'll stall straight on her first attempt. The pressure mounts. The wait seems to have no end. She waits for the track to open, and minutes like this feel like hours. Her time comes, and Jessica is quite proud of her start, but Lewis Hamilton has little to be worried about.
Elle dit rien.
J'ai envie de pleurer tellement que c'était bon.
And Jessica says it was so much fun she was beginning to cry. And this is the most impressive driving experience of her life.
C'est extraordinaire.
And to top off what was an extraordinary day, Mathieu took Jessica and another lucky soul out for a ride in the very rare 3-passenger Formula One car. Oh, this is definitely a day Jessica will never forget.